Hello, my name's Danielle Watt. My specialisation is SOS. So for Spec B, I've been looking at social humanities, and history has been the subject area that I've been looking at. So for the assessment 2, we did American Revolutions, Unit 3, Area of Study 1, Outcome 1. So that is the SAC that I am focusing on for this Assessment 3 task. So with this SAC, it is based on, as I said, Area of Study 1, Outcome 1, which is causes of revolution. So in particular, the American Revolution from 1754 to 4th of July, 1776. So when I was looking at the SAC criteria for revolutions, I noticed that you could choose, there were 4 options you could choose from. So you could do an historical inquiry, which is students investigate an aspect of one of the revolutions, such as a leader, a group, an event, or an issue. And then they research and gather primary resources and use them to form conclusions and interpretations, then present their findings in writing. So there was that option. The second SAC option to choose from is an analysis of primary resources. So for this SAC, students examine, interpret, and critically analyse one or more primary resources, such as documents or visual representations that you give them, and then teachers provide those sources. And then this will test their understanding of the relevant area of study. The third option you can choose is an evaluation of historical interpretations. So for this SAC, students are required to study, interpret, compare, and evaluate different views of the revolution. So during the course, students will examine and discuss different historians and the conclusions and arguments they have formed about the revolution. And so the final option you can choose from is an essay. So this SAC requires students to write and submit a formal essay. Students will need to use appropriate structure, such as an introduction, paragraphing, signposting, or topic sentences, and a conclusion. They will also need a strong argument of or contention to underpin the essay. So for this SAC, I have actually chosen the essay format. So what I have done is I'm giving the students the option of 2 essay topics, and they must choose one. So the SAC will go for, they have 10 minutes of reading time where they can think about their which essay topic they will choose, and they can think about their response, and then they will have 50 minutes to complete the essay. So as I said, they only choose one, they don't do both. So with the SAC that I have designed, I have looked at the Area of Study 1, Outcome 1, Causes of Revolution, and I have specified my questions based on the causes of revolution. So the first essay question I have is, issues of representative government outweigh all other forces that drove the colonists to revolution. To what extent do you agree with this view? And then the second essay topic they can choose from is, the Boston Tea Party and the coercive acts of 1774 were the most significant events contributing to the American Revolution. To what extent do you agree with this view? So I've actually, to what extent do you agree with this view is used in both essay topics. It's just a matter of which essay topic they choose to write about, but the question that they need to answer will be, to what extent do you agree with this view? So they need to give validated opinions. So they need to have known, they need to back it up with relevant arguments, whatever view that they're going to express. So I did have a look at the teacher's advice, and it does say that you are able to give, at the teacher's discretion, each teacher is different, but you're actually able to give or release the topic dates 24 hours before the completion of the SAC to allow students planning and preparation time. So that could be something that I could do for the students. So give them these topics 24 hours in advance so that they have can sort of do their own little bit of research before they go into the SAC. That was something I didn't know that you could do. So that I find that would be really helpful for the students. Once they're in the SAC though, they cannot bring any books or anything in. That is, I've put that on the front page of the SAC, what the instructions of the SAC, what they can and cannot have in the SAC, or in the assessment that they're doing. So yeah, certainly no books or anything. It's all just pen and paper, basically. Yeah, so it's just important that, that I make sure that the students are following the instructions while the SAC is taking place, and to ensure that they go within the time limit. Also, this is the American Revolution. So making sure that the students are familiar with key terms and key skills required for specifically the American Revolution. So there'll be a few key terms that they will be need to be familiar with. So these include the Boston Tea Party, for example, just getting up here, the Boston Tea Party, the events that, like the colonies and including the British, the French and Indian War, the British management of the colonies, the Proclamation Act, British Tax Revenue Acts, and the colonial responses, the coercive acts, the First and Second Intercontinental Congress, the Enlightenment, natural rights, taxation without representation. So all these things we would have covered in weeks 1 to 7, and then this SAC will be will happen at the end of week 7. So we've had 7 weeks. That's nearly 2 months to work on these key terms and key knowledge, and then they will have to write their essay based on this knowledge that they have been studying for the past 7 weeks. So I think I think the questions are really fair. I definitely have only, the questions do definitely only specify the causes of the revolution, so not the consequences or anything. It's that'll come later, so that'll be another outcome that they do, like the consequences of revolution, which will follow the causes of revolution. So they're not, at this stage doing the SAC, they are not expected at all to know about the consequences or be able to write about the consequences. It's purely the causes and their knowledge about the causes. So thank you very much.